Welcome back, sports fans. Today, we are back on the fourth quarter finish podcast with the one, the only Mason McKenzie. McKenzie, the GLIAC Freshman of the Year from Saginaw Valley State. And I just got to tell you guys, he is as electric in person as he is on the field. So, Mason, I'll let you just go ahead and, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you came from, and I'll let you start there.
All right. Yeah. So my name is Mason McKenzie, and I grew up in Caledonia, Michigan. Lived here my whole life. Enjoyed every minute of it. It's nice to be back for Christmas break. Be back for a little while. See all my friends from back in high school, and see some of the guys from our state championship team. So get to kind of get back around those guys. It's always fun to come back and see them. So but I've played football since third grade, when the first year they let us play tackle football here, and never really looked back since then. It's always been my favorite thing to do. I always loved watching it with my dad on the couch and doing all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of just been like my first love ever since my dad. We would always throw the ball in the living room and stuff, and we'd play. He'd be on his knees and I'd be running around like in the living room, and we'd be playing football in there. So I mean, just always a big football fan, and have always just kind of been. It's always been kind of what I've been doing. So.
And that's awesome to hear. A lot of kids in this day and age, they're starting younger and younger and younger every year. And so you said third grade. I mean, that's what, 8, 7, 8, somewhere in there, 6, 7, 8. I mean, it gets younger and younger every year. But obviously, that preparation helped in your career, I'm sure, as you can tell. You're so successful. So digging into that a little bit more. Youth football, right? How important was, your development in youth football to where you are now?
So yeah, I've been playing quarterback ever since fourth grade. So I started in third grade and I played running back, and we were doing the wishbone then, which I absolutely hate. We'll just say that right now. But
yep.
As a quarterback, but I was, and that was cool. And then ever since fourth grade, like I said, I've been playing quarterback, and just being able, it's just like having that many reps playing quarterback just ever since fourth grade. Like it definitely pays dividends at the end, even though it's at such a young level. Like it's just having that experience and just having the feel to play quarterback it's just something that it takes a lot of time and reps and practice and a lot of work. So definitely coming up through youth ball, and we were on a lot of good teams. A lot of the guys from my senior year were on those teams, and it was a lot of fun. We always enjoyed it, and so just going up through there definitely gave me a lot of a feel to be play quarterback the way I do now. So
bringing up the wishbone, my senior year was 2018, so I ran the wishbone my entire life too.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting one. It feels very 1960s, so I can see why a quarterback would be like, it works, but the game's evolved a little bit.
Luckily, just in third grade we ran that. Then ever since that, when I started playing quarterback, we never did that. So
never did that, right?
That was good. Yeah,
that was good. So moving from that, obviously, when did Pennington's offense start to really hit for you? Was that middle school for you then?
Well, he came my junior year, so I really just learned his offense my junior year, and then before that, like in like middle school and elementary school and all that, it was more just like what our coaches wanted to do at that level. And I was lucky enough to have a guy that coached me for like 3 or 4 years at that level, so I kind of just knew his offense, and we did really well. And that was always fun because he like built the offense around my skill set, so I could run it, I could throw it. We had a lot of other playmakers around me, so it was just like, that was a spread offense, and then it kind of led into not as complex as our high school offense, but it kind of led into that a little bit more. And I kind of once Pennington came, I got to open up and show more of my skill set. Whereas before then, it was more, I was younger and just wasn't really trusted to run the ball and all that, I guess. So it was more just let me open up and show my skill more when he came.
Well, so actually bringing that up, I've got a little bit of a funny story. I know you know the Fedewas. I'm one of my best friends is actually a co-host
Hmm.
kind of on this podcast, Austin Fedewa, and I'll tell you a funny story.
Hmm.
So he used to announce
Yeah.
your games, and he said to me one day when we were seniors, I believe, he said, "Yeah, I was watching this kid in youth football. His name's Mason McKenzie. The kid's going to be an absolute stud." And I was
Mhm.
like, "Man, you could tell
Yeah.
that young?" And he goes, "Yeah." And so, it's that was the first time I ever heard your name, man. And it's just awesome to see
Yeah.
what you've accomplished.
I
You know,
appreciate it.
yeah, of course. So obviously youth football helped a lot. So let's talk about then, your freshman year in high school. That's the big one for a lot of kids. What was that like going into high school football for you?
Yeah, so that was the first year of high school ball, and I played on the freshman team that year. So it was still the same group of guys that I was used to playing with, and we were pretty good. I think we ended up going like 7-2 or something, and which is solid. And then those are the same guys that we played with going into my senior year. So I mean, those are like friendships and memories I'll cherish forever. Just being around those guys, and it's just great group to be around all the time. And we were really special football group, but outside of that, like we all can still call each other and just like and chop it up anytime. Like I see them all the time. Like just when I came back here, we come play basketball or whatever, some pick up basketball, and I always see them, and it's just like the friendships never really miss a beat. So it's always fun to come see those guys. And freshman football was a part of that because we were all together at that time, and it was a special group. So
It really was. Obviously, making it to the state championship, you guys had to have a nice core nucleus, a great
yeah,
camaraderie between everybody. It takes a lot, so going into
yeah.
that, how much did your relationships with everybody on the team impact you guys making it to that state championship?
Oh, I think it was everything for us, honestly. Like just being able to trust the guy next to you and just like really want to win for that guy because you love them like so much. I think that's really just like the biggest thing with all that is just we had a great culture, and Coach Pennington always wanted to drill that into us. It was just like it was all about the culture, the culture, the culture. He got us shirts our senior year that said all we need on it because the guys in that room were everything we needed. So that was huge. And like I just hung out with Brock last night, and we went bowling, and we had a great time. So I mean, those guys are all I'm still close with a lot of those guys, and just being it was really it made it a lot more fun too to really just care about the people that you're playing with, and just really wanted to win for the guys around you. And it had nothing to do with like your personal goals or what you wanted. It was just all
Mhm.
about the team. We wanted to win. We want to do it for each other. So
and
just
and
having those guys, and everybody had this. So
that's so awesome to hear because I feel like a lot of that actually gets lost in this day and age, with social media and the whole recruiting process. It's all about stats. Obviously, that's a big part of the game, but it shouldn't be the game. I feel like what Caledonia had
yeah.
with you guys was you guys were playing for just each other. It was just about the game. It was just about each other. And I think
Mm.
that's exactly what you're talking about is it led to that state championship. When you're playing with passion for
Yeah, no, it
just the
was
game, yeah, it
hmm
makes a big difference.
Yeah,
But
no, no, yeah, it was special. We had so much fun that our senior year, like just living back those memories, like that, like we were talking about earlier, the Rockford game, and just going to Ford Field. Obviously, we wanted to get that one done, but just a lot of memories and a lot of friendships that I'll cherish forever for sure.
well, speaking of that, obviously as a quarterback, I'm sure you love breaking down tape. So I thought I would share a couple
Hmm.
plays with you real quick. I don't know how long it's been since you've seen them, but I just wanted to
Okay.
kind of get people to see kind of what goes through a quarterback's head. Everybody's always wondering, and asking, what are they seeing? What are they seeing? Well, nobody better than to ask Mason McKenzie, what are you seeing on this throw? Um, all right, let's go ahead. We'll play it here. Oh my gosh, what a dot.
Oh yeah,
Just
so that
perfect.
that one high safety, and Evan, number 20, Evan, he just got behind the safety. So in the corner at outside leverage, and the safety was over on the other hash, and he just couldn't get back to the other side in time. So just gotta give
So
your guys a chance.
So how long does it take you, obviously from catching the ball to drop back? How long do you think it
Mhm.
takes you, roughly to make that decision of, okay, I'm launching this one to give my guy a chance?
Well, so like you get your pre-snap read, and then you get to kind of see the shell before the snap and what coverage you might think they're going to be in, or like, yeah. So just like obviously that's cover one right there, which is just man
Mhm.
with one high, and so man, if you're throwing a deep ball, that's good. It's just a matchup thing. So if you like your matchup, you take that shot, and and so I was looking left on that play, look off the safety to get him to move off his spot so that I could get Evan back on the right side of the field, and it ended up working out pretty well. So,
Yeah, that was one of the ones I was watching tape and I went, wow, that yeah, I
mm,
remember I was up in the stands somewhere up there. I was watching that game. Obviously that I mean that's a heck of a throw and that's a special type of play, and it's really incredible to watch. But I think that's just the beginning of the iceberg. This is the next wow play I kind of saw, and I just got to ask, where did you learn to do this? An
uh,
underarm sidearm throw.
that's just like it's something I work on all the time. It's just like things like that. People don't necessarily think that it's something you work on, but I've been working on that for years with my quarterback trainer. Like all those off platform, off balance, sidearm, like all the arm angles, all that kind of stuff. It's stuff that you just work on all the time, and I've been doing that for a long time. So I mean, it's just a lot of hard work that goes into it, and it's cool to see the results of like because it looks a lot of people like look at that and it's like, oh, that's really cool. So I mean, it's definitely a lot of hard work behind the scenes to be able to do like drop the arm angle down like that. And I played baseball back in the day, so that probably had a little something
Okay.
to do with it. So
Yeah. What were you shortstop? Were you infield?
I played center and shortstop.
Okay. All right. I was gonna
So
say
I
that
was,
looks that looks like a shortstop throw.
yeah, no, yep. So yeah, no, that's just something that I've always worked on with my trainers. So
That
it's
that's
just you never know when
incredible.
you're that. Yeah.
It's incredible. Like I've truly never seen a quarterback, at least in my years of watching football in our area, I've never seen a quarterback do that in game. So, it's kind of something cool that you can always go, yeah, I did the craziest throw in Caledonia history probably.
Yeah.
So, that's obviously a good one. And the next one I think is honestly better. We're gonna end kind of with a bang here, but this is on the big stage. This is the big one.
Oh yeah. Yep.
This is who those guys are, and I think we all know who those guys are. They have a lot of talent over on that side of the field. I remember looking up
Yeah.
their stats. A lot of them are playing at Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio, just crazy
Yep.
talent, right?
Yep. Yeah.
But Mason McKenzie, just doing what Mason McKenzie does and taking it to
Yeah.
the one. So
Yeah, no, I'm mad I got tackled at the one there. That still gets me.
still gets it. You're like, oh dude, come on, I
No,
should have
yeah, that
scored.
oh yeah, no, that's just a power read. So I'm reading the defensive end on the left side, and if he comes up the field, I can pull it and go right underneath him. And then so he see how he popped out right there on
Yep.
Brock, and then I can just go right underneath him. And then um so and I thought I didn't realize this guy had turned around and was as close to me. So I was just trying to read Caden's block at the goal line. I was going to walk in, so I slowed down right here because I didn't know where to go, and he ended up getting me from behind. So that
Oh
was unfortunate. I really
man.
wanted to score on that fourth field, but
Yeah.
it's all good. Pride,
Hey,
so
it was incredible though. I mean, like I said, to see this on the big stage. I mean, Belleville, obviously the talent they had. I mean, we had a lot of talent too, but I mean,
mm-hmm.
Belleville and you doing that on the big stage was incredible. I don't think I've lost my
Yeah,
voice like that in a long time. So, but
yeah, it was.
and we'll talk about it after this next play because this one is the big kahuna. This is the one that everybody's going to remember forever. I think it's even something that you'll remember
Oh
for the rest of your life too. This is the play. I call it the play. So,
yeah,
do you want to go ahead and break this one down?
yeah. So this was double overtime of our district championship game, and yeah, we this was like because we lost to them on our senior night at our home field, and we kind of got they beat us pretty decently. So had this one circled because we knew we were going to get back there. We knew we were going to take care of business against Granville and get back to where we wanted to be. So this was really cool to be able to play on their home field and be able to go take it from them. But yeah, no, defense played a great game that whole game. Like it was 3-3 at the end of regulation, and then we both kicked field goals in first overtime, um, and then we got the ball second. They scored a touchdown. We scored a touchdown, and then Coach P originally put up one finger. He was ready to go for kick the extra point, and I mean at that point when you can just end the game right there, we came over the sideline. We were like, let's just get it done right now. Like, let's finish it. Let's not give him another chance to have the ball. So, yeah, we ended up, and the lucky enough for me, Coach Pennington had enough trust in me to have the balls in my hands at that time in the game and make a decision like that. And that just kind of shows the coach that he is as well as he really trusts his players to make the decisions in big time moments like this, because at the end of the day, it's us that is playing the game too. So
Mm-hmm.
that just shows how big of a player's guy he is. That I've always loved Coach P for that, because he really truly loves his players and he truly respects their opinions on things. So he originally wanted to go for one, and we said we're going for two, and then he said, all right, we're running 18 sweep, and then the rest is history.
The
So
rest, the
that's
rest
probably
is history.
that's my sure, yeah, that was good.
It's crazy. So it was obviously, so 18 sweep, it was
Mm-hmm.
100% going to be in your hands at that play, right? There was no read, nothing like that. It was just straight up, just
No,
all
yeah,
right, get the ball and take it.
great. Yep, quarterback stretch. That was it.
Wow. Yeah. And I'm sure that, now thinking about it, did you think about any nerves in that moment or anything like that? Or was it just, I'm going to get in right now?
No, it was more Brock. I was talking to Brock right before the snap, and he was like, "We're getting in." I was like, "All right, let's do it, man. Let's go." So we kind of both, like, because he's the lead blocker on that play, and we were like, "There's no way they're stopping us on this. We're getting in." So yeah, no, that was just a real feeling. I'm glad that we got to experience that as a team, and the community got to experience that really too, because that is something that hasn't really been done in Caledonia in a long time.
A
And there
long
was
time.
over 10,000 people at that game. So it was really cool to do it on a stage like that as well. So definitely a moment and an opportunity that I will be grateful for forever.
And Mason, obviously a member of the community here, I can tell you, I'm grateful for you, for
Yeah,
you giving us this,
I appreciate it. Yeah, no,
like it,
that was
it was unbelievable. So many years. Obviously, I played in 18, and
mm-hmm.
we got our butts kicked by Rockford for a long time.
Yeah,
And then your guys' class came up, and you could feel the tide starting to change a little bit. Like, okay,
yeah,
Caledonia's legit now, and
yeah. We're right there.
this was the game that really put Caledonia on the map. I feel like this was the
Mm-hmm.
one, and it was
Yeah,
just incredible,
yeah,
incredible. But yeah, obviously, thank you for breaking those down. I know, there's a lot of good memories in your tape and, in your mind, I'm sure, of other things too. It's just incredible what you've done on the field. So, you know, I'll
I
go
appreciate
ahead and stop sharing this real quick. And then we'll kind of get into the next segment, which is obviously after all of this, the highlights, the district championship, the going to Ford Field, you got some recruiting interest. So, take me on that
it. Yeah,
journey. What happened through your season?
yeah. So my first offer was, I think, the summer of my junior year, if I remember correctly, and that was Northwood. And that was just a really, really cool moment, because it was kind of just finally like all the hard work is kind of paying off, and I'll get to go play college football, which was my dream for a long time, since I was a kid. But yeah, no, that was the first offer, and then a couple more started rolling in, and I ended up with, like, I think it was 5 or 6. So I was definitely grateful to have an opportunity to do that, and I was just, no, I was just cool to be able to have a choice of schools that wanted me to go play football for them, and especially at the quarterback position, because it's just like that position really makes or breaks a lot of teams. So it was definitely a blessing to be able to have that many schools interested in my abilities to lead their team to a championship.
And that's all what it's all about, right? And so I wanted to ask you a question. Brock was just on the podcast about 2 days ago or so. So do you have any stories of getting called on a class for interviews from colleges or anything like that? What was that
Yeah.
like? The kids look at you like, whoa, this guy's serious. Like I just curious what that was like for you.
No, yeah, I mean it was always awesome to get pulled out of class because obviously I didn't really want to be in class, but it was
Right.
always cool to go talk about football a little bit. But no, it was definitely nice to kind of like they would bring their interest further and come see me at school, which was a pretty cool thing. And yeah, no, it was always great too because Coach Sturs, the coach at Hope, I remember he came in a couple times and he brought me down and him and Coach P would talk for an hour, and I'd just be sitting there listening. And they have a whole bunch of memories coaching against each other in high school and whatever. So it was cool to be taken out of class, I guess, to just go talk about football a little bit, and it was always kind of a nice refresher in the middle
Yeah.
of the day.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice change. Like I said to Brock, I bet, when you got done with that interview, you go back to class, you aren't thinking about class at all. It's over. It's done.
Yeah, yeah.
But obviously, that's like super exciting, and so going into, Saginaw Valley State, how did that come about? What
Hmm.
what led you to take, to choose them as your home for the next, 4 years or however, this is, your journey at
Yeah.
where it's at right now. What led you to that decision?
So I'm just plugging in my phone real quick.
Oh, no, you're
No,
fine.
yeah. Really, what brought me there was the head coach there, Coach Brady. Him and I have a really good relationship now, and during the recruiting process, it felt like he was kind of just like my guy. Honestly, he was like he said he saw himself in me, so like it just was a really good relationship from the start. And um, like I said, I was really grateful to have all the other offers and all that. But at the end of the day, it was really that place just felt like home, and I couldn't be more happy with my decision now. Like playing in the best Division II conference in college football, and um, being able to go compete with the D2 national champions fairs. Like they play tomorrow in the national championship, and they've won.
Mhm.
They've and being able to take those, like we took them down to the last play of the game. We ended up losing by 3, but I mean, just playing at the highest level of Division II football and being able to be able to go toe to toe with teams like that, and for him to have that kind of trust in me to be able to go out my freshman year, and I got to start a game last year, my actual freshman year, and
Mhm.
be able to play and have he trusted me to do that, and just kind of shows the relationship that we have and what he kind of what his picture was for me to do with this team. And I'm glad I chose Saginaw Valley because I know I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. So
That's awesome. It's great when you have that personal connection with your coach. And I feel like that's a huge part of a quarterback, especially, is like you and him being on the same page, being
yeah,
on that same plane,
yeah,
you
we
know.
were on the phone for an hour before this call. So
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, no,
Perfect.
that's why I didn't text you back for so long because we were on the phone for an hour and like just talking about all sorts of different things like the transfer portal and all that kind of stuff. Just kind of trying to see what my thoughts and were on some of the stuff. So
Right.
yeah, it's definitely a really, really good relationship with him, and I'm grateful for that. So
And that's fantastic. I was gonna say, I'll let it slide this one time, not getting back to me. It's fine. I can let
yeah,
that slide for
yeah,
that reason, but
yeah,
no, it's really exciting. And I'm super excited to see what you're gonna do, continue at Saginaw Valley State. And going from that, I wanted to ask you, going from Cal, right, to Saginaw Valley State, what is that difference like on the field? Does the game slow down or speed up for you? What do you feel so far?
yeah, no. So last year I got to start my first game against Davenport, or I guess I should say 2 years ago now. Got to start against Davenport right in our backyard, which was really cool. Got to see like my whole family was there, a bunch of my old teammates and friends and family friends. So that was really, really a cool opportunity to be able to do that. And we didn't end up winning, but it was a cool opportunity, and it definitely was moving a lot faster than high school. A lot better, a lot more athletes out there, and a lot better players. Like there's and then just like every game from then, starting this year, it just like got slower and slower every game, and I felt I could just feel myself getting better and better every game throughout the year. And yeah, it just takes time, I guess, to just like anything, you'll slow down once you get used to it a little bit more. And then next year, I'm excited to see where I'll be able to be at next year and see how much slower it moves for me then after I have 12 games under my belt, and now I get to go play for another year. So
And yeah, it's gonna be. I think obviously I'm a little biased, but you're the most electric quarterback I've seen come out of Caledonia in my life. And seeing what you did, and then seeing what you've done at Saginaw Valley State so far you're going to be an electric player, Mason. And I truly believe that. I think you're going to go down as one of the greatest in D2 of all time. Wherever you end up, I think you're going to go down as a great one. So obviously
thank
going
you.
along with that, it took a lot of preparation, a lot of work to get where you're at. If you could talk to a young Mason, what would you say to him? What preparation advice would you give to Mason now?
Yeah, no, really just stay the course. I mean, just keep working hard and do what you need to do and get things done. Like my sophomore year of high school, it was pretty hard because that was like my first year of varsity, and I wasn't playing how I wanted to play. And then I ended up in the playoffs. We went back to the wishbone, and that was hard for me because I never really had that kind of adversity in football. Like I was always kind of just we were always really good, and we were always winning a lot of games, and I was always playing well. And then that kind of happened, and it was hard for sure. And it definitely took a lot of confidence away from me, and that's why I'm so blessed with like just being able to start over with Coach Pennington and just have just a new fresh start, and just being able to build my confidence back up with that. And just really you just gotta just keep your head down and work. That's what I tell somebody that's trying to be like a quarterback. And because it's a big confidence position. If you don't have confidence in yourself, you're not going to be able to play well on the field. So without having confidence in yourself and your abilities, and that comes from working behind the scenes, like because then you can what you can do, and you know what you put into it. So just gotta just keep working and just stay confident, and good things will happen. So
That's very, very well said, Mason. I think there's a lot of kids in the community that actually look up to you a lot. You're one of those guys, like I said, that what you did on the field is so incredible. And one day your name is going to be hanging on a plaque in the Caledonia High School. I'm sure of it. I know it will actually. I know your name will be up there. So kind of, just wanted to say thank you again, for talking about your story. And, now we get to kind of go into the segment of fun, just kind of having a little goofy fun. So,
yeah.
Obviously your entire career playing quarterback, what was your favorite route to throw at?
My favorite route to throw is probably a post. I like a nice skinny post. Just get to let the receiver go make a play. But I also like throwing like a 10-yard out on a rope. Those are also fun throws. It really gets to show off the arm talent a little bit when you can spin it out to the sideline. So
Yeah, that's always fun.
yeah.
So Brock told me there's actually a pipe route. How much did you like throwing the pipe route?
The pipe route, yeah, no, that was one of our go-to routes in high school for sure. Him and Justice, they both ran that route well, and yeah, no, that was that was kind of our go-to pass play in high school. Did that against Rockford a couple times, and it was yeah, that was the go-to for sure.
That was the go-to. That's good. Hey, anytime you get to do it against Rockford's a good day.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
always go with. So obviously going with that, what's your favorite coverage to throw? Would you say you see most, and what would you say was your favorite?
So we see quarters the most, which is we match quarters, which is just basically where like the safeties will match the number two receiver vertical. So we see that a lot. It's not necessarily the most fun to throw against. No, definitely man is probably the most fun to throw against. I'd say just letting your receiver go make a play on the ball, and with the receivers we have now at school, it definitely makes my job a lot easier when you have guys that can go up and get the ball or run by people. And so I'd say probably man or maybe cover three. There's a lot of easy completions in cover three, so I definitely don't mind throwing against that either. But Mans is for the big shot.
Got to go for the big shot. Big plays,
Yeah.
are always the best, no matter what
Hmm.
level you're at. Just seeing that ball fly and then your guy comes under it is just always the best. Like
Exactly.
it's
Yep. It's
awesome.
a great feeling.
Great feeling. So obviously you talked about it a little bit already. You talked about with your coach, but college football happenings. Obviously, there's a ton going on in this sport right now. Between
Yeah.
NIL, between transfer portal, between the 12-team college football playoff, which has never happened before. What do you
Hmm.
kind of see? Who do you got as? We'll start with this. Who do you see as your national champion this year?
I really don't even know. I'm a huge Ohio State fan. I've been an Ohio State fan for my whole life. My dad's from Ohio, so go Bucks. But
Go
um,
Bucks.
I don't know if they're going to get it done this year. We'll see. I don't know who's going to get it done though. Honestly, I'm excited to watch the Indiana game tonight. I think that should be a cool interstate game. So, but if I had to choose, I want to see Georgia win. I want to see the
Georgia.
underdog cover. Yeah, because their quarterback's out now. It's kind of giving me Ohio State 2014 vibes. So I kind of
Yep.
want to see that happen. That'd be cool. I think they're
I,
good enough to do it.
I totally actually I could see that happening. Like just Georgia all of a sudden goes on a miracle run here, and they make it
Yeah.
happen. I mean, sometimes it's just the way it happens.
Yeah. No.
I
For
go ahead.
no, you're good. You're good.
I was gonna say, I personally see, like Ohio State. So first off, I'm actually a state and state fan. I gotta kind of hide this around here because I gotta be careful. Michigan State and Ohio State. People are like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm sorry. I just Michigan and me don't get along. I don't know what to tell you." So,
Those fans, but you can like both of those.
that's what I've always felt. I related more to Ohio State fans as a Michigan State fan than Michigan
Yeah.
fans. So that I don't tell
Yeah.
you, but so
Yeah.
anyways, I'm rooting for them in the playoffs, but I truly think Texas is going to get it done. They got an electric line,
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
I
We'll
mean
see
with
how
that Arch
Ewers
Manning,
plays. He's been a little shaky, but yeah, no, we'll see. I just like was thinking about it the other night, and I thought it was kind of cool because the first playoff was Ohio State, and they ended up winning, and they had Cardale Jones. And how cool would it be if Georgia won with their backup quarterback in the first 12-team playoff? So I was kind of thinking about that, and I think it would be a pretty cool story. I think that backup quarterback they had, he was pretty good, and I kind of liked his story, so I would like to see them win.
yeah, I think Georgia has a really good story this year, and it's super exciting. Like I said, who knows what's going to happen this year? It's one of those type of years. Um,
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
that's gonna be great. Yeah.
Last thing I gotta ask. Okay, so Brock has made it known that he is the burger connoisseur. So what do you?
Okay.
He says something about Lowell's got this 9.3 burger, and so I was just curious, what's your go-to food? Or I guess obviously there's probably a lot of healthy foods you eat, but what's your go-to like pleasure food that you're like, oh, this is the one I eat every time I want to be like in a good mood.
Yeah, no, me and Brock have gotten our fair share of burgers together. I'm with him on that. I can enjoy a good barbecue bacon burger or something like that. I enjoy those. And then I do like making a steak or something at school, but that's not necessarily a like a happy food. I go like a junk
Right.
food really, but it is a happy food, I guess you could say, to have a good steak. But no, I enjoy burgers as well. I know Brock is a big burger guy. He eats them really fast. Like he can really put them down like a couple bites and he's done. But yeah, so no, I can enjoy a good burger for sure.
Good burger. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Is there any food that you're like, no, I personally like I rate these. So like me, it's pizza. I rate pizzas all across Michigan. I don't know why, but like I
Okay.
that's like my thing. Like Fricano's pizza, like 9.5. That's the one.
Like
You
the
know. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thin crust Fricano's, man. You
yeah.
can't go wrong with it.
Okay.
But do you have a food like that?
Um, I like Red Robin has a really good barbecue bacon burger. They do a good job with those. I just I like barbecue bacon burger. That's my thing with like the crispy onion things on them. Those are really good too.
Ooh.
Like the little onion ring things on it. I enjoy that. I enjoy that. So I'd say Red Robin, and then I like pizza as well. We just went to a place like last week, a really good pizza place. I can't remember what it's called, but it was really good. They've got all sorts of like weird kinds of pizza, and it's really good. So, but yeah, I enjoy pizza, and burgers probably are my two go-tos outside of like foods that are good for you.
That's awesome. Like I said, hey, that's spoken like a true football player right there. It's
Yeah,
just burger and pizza. Let's just
there
eat
you
it up,
go.
man. That's right. Well, thank you so much, Mason, for coming on. Obviously, I think it's great that you guys, your experiences in football are so awesome to let the community know about, your schools know about everything. I think people deserve to hear your guys' story, and
Yeah,
every athlete has a story, and I want to hear them all. That's kind of my goal with this. And I just want to say thank you again for coming on. There's a lot of
yeah,
a
no,
lot of people that are going to look up to you.
I
Um,
appreciate it.
is there any shout outs you wanted to give while you're on here?
Um, Shout out Coach P, Coach Uriel, my quarterback coach, and then my family. Got to shout them out too for everything
Got
that
it.
they've done for me.
Got to shout out the people closest to you, right? So, well, thank you again, Mason. I really appreciate it, and we'll be talking soon. Obviously, I'm gonna keep up and keep in touch with you about your college career, and obviously, I want to help you any way I can. So, keep it up, my man.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having
Yeah.
me.
Thank you for listening to the Fourth Quarter Finish podcast. Please like and subscribe. To support the athletes that are featured, check out their personal links down below. Fourth Quarter Finish, hard-hitting takes.